All right, here we are back again with the 2004 RTV 900 engine swap and build. I got the last video, said I was going to hone out these cylinders quick because they were in good shape. So I just went over them really quick here, see if I can get a little bit of light in here for you. Yep, I honed them out a little bit. Got a nice pattern in there. They're looking brandy new. So I'm going to be using, I couldn't use the new pistons from the new motor. There's a small difference on them. I could use them. I would have had to order different rings, however. And I'm going to show you that right now. So I'm using the 2004 pistons, but I am using new bearings, new rod bearings, the new wrist pins, the new rod, and the new clips. The new wrist pin, like I said, wrist pin. But I couldn't use the new bearings. I mean the new piston. Here's the new piston. Here's the old piston. I already put brand new rings on them. These rings are all, we just put in with assembly lube. But I'll show you the difference. I ordered these rings. There's $300 for a set of rings. So I wasn't going to put the rings back and get another set of rings. If I ordered another set of rings, I could have used the new pistons. My pistons were in good shape. Obviously, there's nothing wrong with these pistons. The motor was fine, except for the head. I'm just going to use the new stuff like I wanted to. But see, here's the new pistons. Exact same. I measured everything. Everything's the same with the exception of, here's the bottom oil ring. The space on that is narrower. It has, the newer motors have a narrow oil ring where the double ring goes with the spring behind it. If you look at this one, here's my old one. That space, that double ring with the spring behind it is much wider. It's a bigger ring on the oil scraper. That bottom oil scraper. And I'm thinking that that would be better anyway to have a wider ring. I don't know why they changed it, but of course they changed little things. Like I said, I could have used these. The same dimensions, everything mics out the same, but I would have to get different rings. So I'm sticking with these old pistons, with the new rings, the new bore, new hone. And like I said, the new bearings are in here, the new wrist pin, and the new, I'm not sure what the top bearing's called on the upper part of the rod. I don't remember. Anyway, yeah, that's it. And even the bearings that were in my motor looked really well, looked really good, as the new lifters. I swapped this one bearing out. I did order one set of bearings for one rod to be new, only because this one half of one bearing had a little bit of a mark in it. Right there, you can see it. There's nothing you can even feel with your fingernail. I can't even feel it with my finger, but I could see it. So I said, going this far, I might as well just set one set of bearings for that one rod. But these bearings were fine. So I had to put that new set in. So the next step would be to install these the pistons. This isn't going in. So I can put the pistons into the cylinders. I can fit them in, put the oil pan on, and then I'm ready for the head. Now the new motor didn't have an O-ring here on the head. My old motor does, so I just got the new O-ring in the mail. I ordered that. I want to put one back, obviously. Some motors do, some don't, it says. So I am going to replace that. So yeah, the next step is to put the pistons in, put the oil pan up. I got to torque down the rods. I got the 12 point for that, 8mm 12 point 3/8 drive. I had to get that socket because my tools aren't here, they're all up in Maine. So I had to buy an extra socket. Torque down the head with the new head gasket. The head is all ready to go. I relapped the valves. The valves are all done. I put the manifold on. The injectors are on. I am using the injectors that came with the new motor. There's 3-hole injectors, like I said in my last video. My old motor had 2 large holes for the injector. I'm not sure which one's better. I don't even know if I'm thinking too deep. There's not a lot out there that gets this deep and this technical into the injectors. You'd have to go to a specialist, I guess. And if there even is a difference, I don't know. But there is a difference. There's 2 large holes in the old injector, and there's 3 small holes in the new injector. And just by looking at them, there would definitely be more flow, I would imagine, in the old injector. And I don't know if that has to do with the Tier 4 emissions or not, But I'm going to put I have the new injectors in here. I'm going to run it. Now, it's easy enough to swap out those injectors. I could swap them out later if I want, just to see if I even notice a difference. It may only be dyno difference. I mean, you may not even notice a difference in what I call the seat dyno, which is what counts, right? So yeah, I can always swap them out later, but these are the ones that came with it. Those are the ones I'm using. I got the new glow plugs in here. I swapped over my thermostat housing. As you can see, it's a different color. I painted it. I couldn't use the old manifold, unfortunately, because the way it dumps out for the exhaust, it's too bad too. It's a nice brand new manifold, but I cleaned my old one up a little bit. Not a big deal. It's only what it looks like. These are the lifters that came out of the new motor. I have them all numbered. So I'm going to put these back in order because these are already matched to the new cam. I'm using the new cam from the new motor. That's already installed in my engine and all timed. So it's the new cam, the new lifters, the whole valve train assemblies from the new motor and going into my old motor. So everything matches up there. Got the push rods in order. So with any luck, we'll be starting this thing up within the next couple days. And as long as it doesn't explode like a hand grenade on me, fingers crossed, because that would really suck. Being my first diesel build. And then once that's running all good, I can put that aside, cover it up, and continue on this chassis. I mean, the front of this chassis is all done. I mounted the tires the other night. I have 2 more to mount, the new rim. And yeah, like I said, the original way I was doing this video was all to show everybody that the motor comes out of here with no problem, without taking this rear end and this transmission out. Dump the motor. Matter of fact, when I put the motor back in it, I'm going to have the cylinder head on it, so that ain't the reason. There's plenty of clearance to do this job. So anybody who needs to do this, man, don't waste the time and take out all the transmission rear end and undo all those lines and cables and adjustments for no reason, man. Pop the motor out. Not a problem. You don't even have to undo the power steering. Just a soft line. There's the power steering right there. So yeah, I got to finish up here with the chassis. I'm not using the square. I'm not using this square tubing. It's just square tubing is the worst design in the world. It rots out from the inside. It holds the moisture. I got some really nice C-channel, which all the chassis should be made out of C-channel, just like the cars and trucks. C-channel is the way to go. So I'm going to bend the C-channel to match this. Cut this frame right out of here. Add the C-channel in somewhere right, probably about here. Because it's good steel right here, and then that's getting crappy again here. So I'm going to put the C-channel in right about here, make the 2 bends, and have it come all the way to the front steering plate. There's a thick 3/8" plate under here. Weld the C-channel right to that. And then I'll put probably a flat gusset on the front and a flat gusset on the back. There's so much holding this thing together with the roll bar, the top. There's no real, this doesn't do a hell of a lot. I mean, yeah, it's a frame, but there's so much other steel here holding everything together. It's not like this is a off-road 2-ton truck, you know, doing jumps. You can run faster, but you still got to do it right. So, yep, that's what's going on so far here. I'll upload this video tonight, and the next video will be, maybe I'll show putting the head on, and I'll do this firing up also on video. Maybe I'll set up a little thing to show that. But anybody who's building and swapping out these motors, hopefully this will help out, this information. Because it takes a lot of time to figure out the measuring and all this. You're not just doing a part swap, which is simple. Anybody can read parts numbers and do a swap. When you start doing, that's called, what do they call that? An engine assembly. Yeah, that's an engine assembly. Anybody can assemble an engine. You just look at a book and get the part numbers and put it together. This is more of an engine build because you're putting parts together that aren't meant to supposed to be together. That's the definition in terms for me, an engine build and an engine assembly. This is a build because this part not supposed to go to this part, and you got to figure all this stuff out. And that's why I'm hoping this thing doesn't hand grenade. I mean, I'm micing everything. The only thing I haven't really checked yet on the 2 heads is the head gasket thickness. The new engine did have a and I hate them too. A lot of things use it. The multi-layer head gasket. Let's see, is this it? Nope, this is my head gasket, which was still good, obviously. I just changed it because I was so deep into this. But the old head gasket, I mean the new head gasket from the new motor, is multi-layered. I don't know what I did with it. Not that it matters, but so I'm gonna have to check the differences on that. I don't like those multi-layered head gaskets. I think they suck. But as long as the valves aren't hitting the piston, we'll be good. Be good to go. Got the new water pump, the new gear cover plates on here, looking good. Still the original filter with the paint on it. I got to swap the pulley. Oh, I can't swap the pulley over because the other one's different. So I had to use my old pulley. Yeah, new water pump, the new governor, the brand new injection. I can't think of the even name right now. I got so much going in my head. The new freeze plugs, the injection pump. There you go. And yeah, I'm going to run it. What I think I'm going to do is I already got the plug in here. This is the power steering for the RTV access. Now there's supposed to be a power steering pump hooked up to that. If not, it's just going to shoot. It's going to shoot motor oil out of there, I would imagine. Yeah, it's going to shoot motor oil out of there. So this is the plug that came in the other engine. It didn't have a power steering access hole. So when I fire this stuff off on the bench here, I'm just going to have that plugged. So I don't have to hook up the power steering to it and have a big leak there. Anyway, yeah, thanks for watching, and hopefully this will help somebody out. See you on the next one.